Have you ever wondered what it feels like to step into a city that looks like it was painted by artists centuries ago, yet still pulses with modern energy? A city where charming canals weave through colorful houses, bicycles glide over elegant bridges, and every corner reveals a story waiting to be discovered. Welcome to Amsterdam, one of Europe's most enchanting and unforgettable cities. In this journey, we'll explore breathtaking canals, world-famous museums, vibrant neighborhoods, historic streets, and hidden corners that make Amsterdam a destination unlike any other. From golden sunsets reflecting on calm waters to lively markets filled with music and laughter, Amsterdam invites you to experience its beauty slowly, one moment at a time. So relax, and let's begin an unforgettable cinematic journey through the wonders of this remarkable Dutch capital. As the morning light gently spreads across the Netherlands, Amsterdam awakens in the most peaceful and picturesque way imaginable. Soft golden sunlight reflects on the quiet canals, while the narrow historic houses along the water slowly glow with warm color. The city feels almost magical at this hour, as if time itself moves more slowly here. The canals, which form the heart of Amsterdam's identity, create a network that stretches through the city like delicate ribbons of water. Built during the Dutch Golden Age in the 17th century, these canals were carefully designed to support trade, transportation, and expansion, but today they have become one of the most beautiful urban landscapes in the world. Walking beside these waterways reveals the charm that has captivated travelers for centuries. Elegant bridges cross the canals every few blocks, each offering a slightly different view of the city's architecture. The houses lining the water seem to lean gently toward one another, their narrow shapes and tall windows reflecting the building styles of the past. Many of these homes were built by wealthy merchants who helped transform Amsterdam into one of Europe's most powerful trading centers during the Golden Age. Today, their legacy lives on through the city's timeless architecture. One of the most iconic areas to experience this beauty is the Canal Ring, a UNESCO World Heritage Site that surrounds the historic center. The canals known as Herengracht, Keizersgracht, and Prinsengracht form a graceful semicircle around the old city, each with its own unique character. Houseboats float quietly along the edges, many transformed into cozy homes decorated with flowers and small terraces. Locals ride bicycles along the canal paths, while tourists pause to take photographs of reflections dancing across the coves. Water. Perhaps the most magical way to experience Amsterdam is from the water itself. Canal boats glide smoothly through the narrow waterways, passing beneath historic bridges and alongside centuries-old buildings. As the boat moves slowly forward, the city reveals itself in layers: charming cafes, hidden courtyards, elegant mansions, and quiet streets that seem untouched by time. The gentle sound of water against the boat and the distant ringing of bicycle bells create a peaceful soundtrack to the boat journey. But Amsterdam is not only about beautiful scenery. It is also a city rich in history, art, and culture. One of the most powerful places to visit in the city is the Anne Frank House, located along the Prinsengracht Canal. This modest building holds one of the most moving stories of the 20th century. During World War II, Anne Frank and her family hid in a secret annex within the house to escape Nazi persecution. During those 2 years in hiding, Anne wrote her famous diary, documenting her thoughts, fears, and hopes with remarkable honesty and courage. Today, visitors walk through the same rooms where Anne once lived, experiencing a deeply emotional connection to history. The preserved spaces and personal artifacts remind the world of the importance of tolerance, freedom, and human dignity. The Anne Frank House stands as a powerful reminder that even in the most beautiful cities, history can hold moments of profound struggle. Just a short distance away lies Museumplein, the cultural heart of Amsterdam. This wide-open square is surrounded by some of the most famous museums in the world. The Rijksmuseum, with its grand Gothic architecture, houses masterpieces from the Dutch Golden Age, including paintings by Rembrandt and Vermeer. Walking through its galleries feels like stepping into the artistic soul of the Netherlands. Nearby, the Van Gogh Museum celebrates the life and work of Vincent van Gogh, one of the most influential painters in history. Visitors can admire his vibrant brushstrokes and emotional landscapes while learning about the passionate yet challenging life behind the art. These museums attract millions of visitors each year, turning Amsterdam into one of Europe's most important cultural destinations. Beyond its museums and historic landmarks, Amsterdam is also known for its vibrant everyday life. The city is often called the bicycle capital of the world, and it quickly becomes clear why. Thousands of bicycles move through the streets every day, creating a rhythm that defines the city's pace. Dedicated bike lanes allow locals to travel quickly and efficiently, making cycling not just a mode of transport but a way of life. Markets are another essential part of Amsterdam's character. The famous Albert Kuip Market stretches through the lively De Pege neighborhood, offering everything from fresh flowers and cheeses to warm stroopwafels and international street food. The scent of caramel waffles and roasted snacks fills the air as visitors explore colorful stalls and interact with friendly vendors. As evening approaches, Amsterdam transforms once again. The golden light of sunset reflects across the canals, and the city's bridges begin to glow with small twinkling lights. Cafes and restaurants along the water fill with people, enjoying dinner, conversation, and laughter. The atmosphere feels both relaxed and vibrant, as if the entire city is celebrating the beauty of the moment. In the Jordan district, one of Amsterdam's most charming neighborhoods, narrow streets lead to hidden courtyards, art galleries, and cozy cafes. Musicians sometimes perform along the canals, while locals gather to enjoy the evening. This neighborhood captures the authentic spirit of Amsterdam, creative, welcoming, and full of life. Amsterdam's beauty is not only found in its famous landmarks, but also in its quiet details. A flower box on a canal bridge, the reflection of historic houses in calm water, the gentle sound of bicycles rolling over cobblestones. These simple moments create a city that feels deeply human and wonderfully alive. By night, the canals mirror the lights of the city, turning Amsterdam into a glowing network of reflections and shadows. Boats drift quietly beneath illuminated bridges, while the skyline reveals church towers rising above the rooftops. It is a scene that feels almost cinematic, as if every moment here belongs in a story waiting to be told. Amsterdam is more than a destination. It is a living work of art, shaped by centuries of creativity, resilience, and cultural exchange. Every street, canal, and building carries part of that story. And for those who take the time to explore it slowly, Amsterdam reveals itself as one of the most captivating cities in the world, a place where history flows as gently as the water through its timeless canals. As the city fully awakens and the morning light brightens the canals, Amsterdam begins to reveal the rhythm that defines daily life here. The gentle quiet of sunrise slowly transforms into a lively symphony of movement. Bicycles glide across bridges, cafe doors open along narrow streets, and locals begin their morning routines beside the shimmering water. There is something uniquely peaceful about the way Amsterdam starts its day, as if the city moves with a calm confidence shaped by centuries of history. One of the most beautiful ways to experience Amsterdam's character is simply by wandering through its historic neighborhoods. Each district carries its own personality, its own story written through architecture, culture, and community. Among the most beloved of these areas is the Jordan, a neighborhood that perfectly captures the artistic soul of the city. The Jordan was once a working-class district built during the Dutch Golden Age to house laborers and craftsmen. Over time, it evolved into one of Amsterdam's most charming and creative neighborhoods. Walking through the Jordan today feels like stepping into a painting. Narrow streets twist gently between rows of tall brick houses, their windows decorated with flowers and small plants that lean toward the canals. The canals here are quieter than those in the busy city center. Small bridges arch gracefully over the water, creating postcard-perfect scenes at nearly every corner. Houseboats line the canals, many decorated with colorful details that reflect the personality of their owners. Some are simple and cozy, while others are beautifully renovated, floating homes with terraces and gardens. As you explore the Jordan, you quickly notice the creative energy that flows through its streets. Independent art galleries appear between cafes and boutique shops. Window displays feature handmade jewelry, vintage clothing, and locally designed crafts that celebrate the neighborhood's artistic spirit. Musicians sometimes perform along the canals, their melodies echoing softly across the water. The Jordan is also home to a collection of hidden courtyards known as hofjes. These peaceful spaces were originally built centuries ago as charitable housing for elderly residents and widows. Tucked behind simple doors along busy streets, the hofjes reveal quiet gardens surrounded by small historic homes. Stepping into one of these courtyards feels like discovering a secret sanctuary hidden within the city. One of the most famous landmarks within the Jordan is the Westerkerk, a majestic Protestant church that rises proudly above the surrounding rooftops. Its tall tower, crowned with a blue crown symbolizing the Dutch royal family, can be seen from many parts of the city. Built in the early 17th century, the church stands as one of the most important examples of Renaissance architecture in Amsterdam. The bells of the Westerkerk ring throughout the day, their sound drifting across the canals and streets. For locals, this familiar sound has become part of the city's identity. Visitors who climb the church tower are rewarded with breathtaking views of Amsterdam's rooftops, canals, and distant skyline stretching across the horizon. Not far from the Westerkerk lies one of Amsterdam's most beloved cultural spaces, the Nine Streets, known locally as the Negenstraatjes. This charming shopping district connects several canals with narrow streets filled with independent boutiques, vintage stores, and cozy cafes. Unlike large commercial shopping areas, the Nine Streets offer a more intimate and authentic experience. Walking through this district feels relaxed and welcoming. Shop owners greet customers warmly while displaying carefully curated collections of clothing, art, books, and antiques. Small cafes invite visitors to sit beside canal windows while enjoying fresh pastries and coffee. The entire area feels like a celebration of creativity and individuality. Food also plays an important role in the Jordaan's atmosphere. Traditional Dutch bakeries release the sweet aroma of freshly baked pastries into the streets. One of the most famous local treats is the stroopwafel, a thin waffle filled with warm caramel syrup. When served fresh, the waffle is slightly crispy on the outside, while the syrup inside remains deliciously soft and sweet. Many cafes in the Jordaan specialize in serving these treats alongside rich Dutch coffee or creamy cappuccinos. Sitting beside a canal with a warm stroopwafel and a hot drink becomes one of those simple travel moments that feels unforgettable. As the afternoon light begins to soften, the Jordaan takes on an even more magical atmosphere. The sunlight reflects gently on the canal water, while bicycles pass quietly along the narrow streets. Artists set up small displays of their work, and photographers pause to capture the changing colors of the historic buildings. The neighborhood begins to fill with the relaxed energy of locals returning from work. Small restaurants prepare for the evening crowd, setting tables beside the canals and lighting soft candles that flicker in the growing dusk. Conversations and laughter slowly fill the air, creating a warm and welcoming mood. What makes the Jordaan truly special is its sense of authenticity. Despite Amsterdam's popularity as a global destination, this neighborhood has managed to preserve its community spirit. Many families have lived here for generations, maintaining traditions and relationships that give the area its unique character. As evening approaches, the canals become calm mirrors reflecting the glowing lights of nearby homes and bridges. Couples walk slowly along the water, musicians play gentle melodies, and the scent of dinner drifts from restaurant kitchens. The entire scene feels intimate, almost like a quiet celebration of everyday life. Standing on one of the small canal bridges at sunset, watching the sky fade into soft shades of pink and blue, it becomes clear why so many people fall in love with Amsterdam. The Jordaan captures everything that makes the city extraordinary: beauty, creativity, history, and a deep appreciation for the simple joys of life. In this neighborhood, Amsterdam reveals its true heart, not through grand monuments or crowded attractions, but through peaceful canals, welcoming streets, and the timeless rhythm of a community that continues to thrive beside the water. As the day continues to unfold in Amsterdam, the city's artistic soul begins to shine even brighter. Beyond the picturesque canals and charming neighborhoods lies a world of creativity that has shaped global culture for centuries. Amsterdam is not only a city of beautiful streets and historic buildings, it is also a city where art, imagination, and human expression have flourished for generations. In fact, some of the greatest masterpieces in history were created right here, making Amsterdam one of the most important cultural capitals in Europe. At the center of this artistic legacy stands a place known as Museumplein, a wide-open square surrounded by some of the most famous museums in the world. The atmosphere here feels both grand and welcoming. Vast green lawns stretch across the square where visitors relax, children play, and street performers entertain curious crowds. Around this open space rise magnificent museum buildings, each holding treasures that tell the story of Dutch creativity and innovation. The most impressive of these institutions is the Rijksmuseum, a breathtaking building that looks almost like a palace dedicated to art. Its grand entrance, Gothic towers, and intricate brickwork reflect the pride of a nation that once led the world in trade, science, and culture. Walking through its large archways feels like stepping into another era, the golden age of the Netherlands. Inside the Rijksmuseum, visitors find themselves surrounded by centuries of artistic brilliance. The galleries stretch across multiple floors, displaying thousands of paintings, sculptures, historical artifacts, and decorative objects. Each room reveals a different chapter of Dutch history, from maritime exploration to royal life. But perhaps the most famous masterpiece in the entire museum is Rembrandt's legendary painting known as The Night Watch. This enormous canvas captures a dramatic scene of a city militia preparing for action. Unlike traditional group portraits of the time, Rembrandt filled the painting with movement, light, and storytelling. The figures appear alive, stepping forward from the darkness, as if the moment is unfolding right before the viewer's eyes. Standing in front of this masterpiece, visitors often feel a powerful sense of connection to the past. The painting reminds us that art has the ability to capture not only faces and events, but also the energy and emotion of an entire era. Just a short walk away from the Rijksmuseum is another extraordinary place that celebrates a very different artistic genius, the Van Gogh Museum. Dedicated to the life and work of Vincent van Gogh, this museum houses the largest collection of his paintings anywhere in the world. Van Gogh's art is instantly recognizable for its vibrant colors and expressive brushstrokes. His paintings seem to pulse with emotion, revealing the inner thoughts and struggles of an artist who saw the world in a deeply unique way. Works such as Sunflowers, The Bedroom, and many of his self-portraits offer visitors a window into the mind of a creative spirit who transformed the history of art. Yet the story of Van Gogh is also one of hardship and perseverance. During his lifetime, he struggled with poverty and mental illness, often feeling misunderstood by the world around him. Despite these challenges, he continued to paint with incredible passion, producing hundreds of works that would later inspire generations of artists. Walking through the museum's galleries, visitors follow the journey of Van Gogh's life from his early experiments with darker tones to the bright, swirling colors that defined his later masterpieces. The experience feels both inspiring and emotional, reminding us that creativity often grows from the deepest parts of the human experience. Museumplein itself serves as more than just a cultural center. It is also one of Amsterdam's favorite public spaces. On sunny days, locals gather on the grass to enjoy picnics, play music, simply relax with friends. Street performers often entertain visitors with live music, juggling acts, and creative displays that bring even more energy to the square. In the winter months, the atmosphere transforms once again when a large ice skating rink appears in front of the museums. Families and travelers lace up their skates and glide across the ice while festive lights decorate the surrounding area. The scene feels like something from a winter postcard, filled with laughter and joyful celebration. Just beyond Museumplein lies another important cultural landmark, the Stedelijk Museum, dedicated to modern and contemporary art. Unlike the classical paintings of the Rijksmuseum, the Stedelijk explores bold artistic movements of the 20th and 21st centuries. Visitors encounter abstract paintings, experimental sculptures, multimedia installations, and thought-provoking designs that challenge traditional ideas of art. This contrast between historic masterpieces and modern creativity perfectly reflects the spirit of Amsterdam itself. The city respects its past while constantly encouraging new ideas and innovation. As the afternoon sunlight begins to soften, visitors leaving the museums often take time to walk slowly across Museumplein, reflecting on the incredible works they have just experienced. Artists sketch the surrounding architecture, photographers capture the changing light, and travelers sit quietly on benches while absorbing the beauty of the moment. The museums of Amsterdam do more than display art. They tell the story of a nation shaped by imagination, courage, and curiosity. From the dramatic scenes of Rembrandt to the emotional landscapes of Van Gogh, each masterpiece carries a piece of the Dutch spirit. And as the city continues to evolve, new generations of artists, designers, and creators continue to draw inspiration from this remarkable cultural heritage. In Amsterdam, art is not simply something found in museums. It is woven into the very fabric of the city in its architecture, its streets, its music, and the creativity of the people who call this place home. By the time the sun begins to set over Museumplein, casting warm golden light across the historic buildings, visitors often realize that Amsterdam is more than a beautiful destination. It is a living gallery of human creativity, where every corner invites discovery and every moment feels like part of a masterpiece still being painted. As the golden afternoon light spreads gently across the canals, Amsterdam reveals another side of its story, a side shaped by water, trade, and the remarkable maritime history that helped transform a small fishing settlement into one of the most powerful cities in the world. Long before tourists arrived, with cameras and bicycles filled the streets, Amsterdam was a bustling port where ships from distant continents carried spices, silk, timber, and ideas that would reshape Europe. To truly understand Amsterdam, one must look toward the water that surrounds it. The canals, rivers, and harbor areas are not just scenic features of the city. They are the very reason Amsterdam exists. Centuries ago, the Dutch mastered the art of controlling water through engineering, building dikes, canals, and windmills that allowed them to reclaim land from the sea. This remarkable relationship between land and water became one of the defining achievements of Dutch civilization. One of the most fascinating places to experience this history is the Amsterdam harbor area, where the city's maritime legacy still echoes through its docks, warehouses, and historic ships. Standing along the waterfront today, visitors can imagine the era when enormous trading vessels filled these waters, their tall masts rising like forests above the harbor skyline. During the 17th century, known as the Dutch Golden Age, Amsterdam became the center of one of the most powerful trading networks in the world. At the heart of this network was the Dutch East India Company, one of the first multinational corporations in history. From Amsterdam's harbor, ships sailed to Asia, Africa, and the Americas, bringing back goods that filled markets across Europe. Spices from Indonesia, tea from China, precious woods from Africa, and countless other treasures passed through the city's docks. The wealth generated by this global trade allowed Amsterdam to flourish economically and culturally. Merchants built grand canal houses, artists created masterpieces, and the city became a center of science, philosophy, and innovation. Today, visitors can step directly into this fascinating chapter of history at the National Maritime Museum. Located inside a massive 17th century naval warehouse, the museum offers an incredible journey through the seafaring traditions of the Netherlands. The building itself feels like a fortress of knowledge. Its thick walls once used to store ropes, sails, and equipment for the Dutch Navy. Inside the museum, exhibits reveal how Dutch sailors navigated vast oceans with remarkable skill and courage. Detailed maps and navigation tools show how explorers charted unknown territories long before modern technology existed. Ship models demonstrate the impressive engineering behind the vessels that carried traders and explorers across dangerous seas. One of the most breathtaking experiences at the museum is stepping aboard a full-scale replica of an East India Company ship called the Amsterdam. This massive wooden vessel floats beside the museum's dock, allowing visitors to walk its decks and explore the tight cabins where sailors once lived during months-long journeys across the ocean. Standing on the deck of this ship, it becomes easy to imagine the life of a sailor during the Golden Age. The creaking of wooden planks beneath your feet, the tall sails stretching toward the sky, and the smell of the sea all bring history vividly to life. Life aboard these ships was far from easy. Sailors faced storms, disease, and long months away from home, yet their journeys connected continents and transformed the global economy. Not far from the Maritime Museum lies another fascinating reminder of Amsterdam's connection to water, the Nemo Science Museum. Its striking green building rises above the harbor like a giant ship's hull, symbolizing the city's long relationship with exploration and discovery. Inside Nemo, science comes alive through interactive exhibits designed to inspire curiosity about the world. Visitors of all ages can experiment with physics, chemistry, and engineering through hands-on displays that make learning feel like an adventure. The museum celebrates innovation and creativity, reminding visitors that the spirit of exploration that once drove Dutch sailors across the oceans now continues in fields like science and technology. As the afternoon slowly transitions toward evening, the harbor district becomes one of the most beautiful places in Amsterdam to watch the changing light. The sun begins to sink toward the horizon, casting warm reflections across the water, while ships glide quietly through the harbor. Modern architecture now blends with historic warehouses along the waterfront. Old brick buildings that once stored spices and trade goods have been transformed into stylish apartments, creative studios, and trendy restaurants. This blend of past and present gives the harbor district a unique atmosphere where history and modern life exist, side by side. Locals often gather along the waterfront promenades to enjoy the peaceful view of the water. Cyclists pass by on dedicated paths, couples sit on benches watching the boats, and artists sometimes set up easels to capture the golden light reflecting on the harbor's surface. In many ways, the harbor represents the spirit of Amsterdam itself, a city built through courage, creativity, and the willingness to explore beyond familiar horizons. The same adventurous mindset that once sent Dutch ships across the globe continues to shape the city today. Even now, Amsterdam remains an international crossroads where cultures meet, ideas flow freely, and creativity thrives. The harbor may no longer be filled with fleets of trading ships as it once was, but its legacy lives on in the city's openness to the world. As night approaches and the lights of the harbor begin to glow across the water, visitors often feel a deep appreciation for the remarkable journey that Amsterdam has taken through history. From humble fishing village to global trading powerhouse, and now to one of Europe's most vibrant cultural capitals, the story of Amsterdam continues to unfold beside the very waters that first gave it life. Thanks for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed exploring Prague as much as I enjoyed guiding you through it. If you found this travel guide helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more beautiful destinations from around the world. Got a favorite spot in Prague?